composting tigers.
See, peace!
Do you know what's missing here? A greenhouse! But it's so cold out here. Do you think any vegetables grow in this kind of weather?
It's good thinking. How about indoor greenhouse?
As you can see, there's a bunch of natural lighting and very spacious.
We're still working on the funding, but moving on.
Action. So our original problem, food waste at SNS, has indeed been solved. We partnered with the Interact Club and successfully installed a compost bin. But why did we stop there?
We realized that the resources we were gaining from composting could be put to better use for our school. But what exactly are we gaining from composting?
Well, that is a great question. So, after all the food scraps have been brought to Timberline Disposal, located in Silverthorne, the composting process begins. It starts by combining microorganisms with water and air to break down organic materials quickly and effectively to make
Dirt. Well, exactly how long does it take to make dirt?
Soil can be made in as little as 6 to 8 weeks. In general, the more effort you put in, the quicker you'll get soil.
Going back to our plan, the problem we are trying to solve is that there is a very high amount of CO2 around the world and in Summit County. There is also a lot of wasted organic materials like soil. So by installing an indoor greenhouse, we will be able to cut down on the amount of CO2 because foods won't need to be transported here by trucks and they can grow right here in our school. This will also provide a much healthier option for students at lunch.
This brings us in a full circle because food that is not eaten gets composted and will be able to help grow new foods and vegetables. And did you know that trucks make up about 25% of the global transport CO2 emissions? Yeah, that's a lot.
We want to install indoor greenhouses in our school and then use the soil from the compost to grow vegetables for our school salad bar. This way kids can eat healthier lunch and better for the environment. Also, by doing this, we will be able to use our resources more responsibly, which leads us into our SDG.
Our SDG is responsible in consumption and production because if we can dispose of our food scraps, we are being responsible consumers and help the productions of new foods.
Our small is
S, sustainable. Our solution is sustainable because many people care about the environment, and this is caused especially in our community, like our partners HC3. And when we go into high school, there's a lot of students who care about and we can educate about this important issue to keep the solution running.
Measurable. Our solution is measurable because we can track the amount of soil wasted and see if it goes down.
A, achievable. Our solution is achievable because we have a bunch of middle rooms throughout our school, like this, that would be perfect for turning into mini greenhouses. Also, they have a bunch of natural sunlight, and though we would still need to purchase indoor greenhouse lights and flower beds, this solution is quite achievable and efficient for growing our vegetables.
R, relevant. The solution is relevant because food waste is a big problem happening right now in the world and our community, and we think we can make a difference.
And T, time-bound. Our solution is time-bound because it is achievable in a short period of time. Our time frame for this project is only a couple months, and that's a pretty short amount of time for such a big project like this.
And that's our SMART goal. But why is lowering the amount of food waste important anyways?
Well, it's important because food waste is really bad for the environment. When food waste goes to a landfill instead of a compost bin, the composting process is interrupted. At a landfill, the food scraps get buried by other trash and have little to no oxygen, breaking down in the process called anaerobic digestion.
Anaerobic digestion is just a fancy term for breaking down without oxygen. It is very bad because when this process occurs, lots of methane is produced. Studies show that for every 100 pounds of food waste, about 8.3 pounds of methane is produced.
Even though this may not seem like a very big number, it all eventually adds up. Also, methane is almost 25 times more potent than CO2 at trapping heat in the atmosphere.
Now a word from our community partner, HC3. We asked them some questions, and these are their answers. How much food is wasted in Summit County?
According to a waste composition study conducted in 2019, food waste represents 17 to 21% of what we throw in the trash.
What are the effects of food waste in the environment in Summit County?
When food ends up in the landfill, it releases methane, a greenhouse gas more powerful than carbon dioxide. In fact, landfills in the United States are the third largest source of methane emissions in the country. On a larger scale, wasting food means wasting energy and the water required to produce it, as well as the trip it took to get from farm to your fridge.
Can you give us some more detail on how food scraps turn into soil?
Soil is made from slash, food scraps, and biosolids, and the organic matter recovered from the wastewater treatment process. These organic materials are combined on a large flat surface and mixed into huge piles called windrows. Windrows provide the ideal environment for speeding up the decomposition process. In just 6 to 8 weeks, those windrows heat up and the materials decompose and soil is created.
Do you think a greenhouse would be a good solution, and why?
While greenhouses and gardening in general is a great way to bring close to loop system of rotation, it is typically not recommended we make for schools unless there's a plan in place for the rotating classrooms of students to care for maintaining or the ongoing work of food production. Many schools have been successful though.
Thank you.
Action. Thank you so much, H33, but we'll take it from here. You guys did make a good point. How are we going to make sure that the plants are well tended to?
We talked to our 8th grade science teachers about taking care of the plants as a big part of the 8th grade science curriculum. In science, we did a photosynthesis unit, and we think the plants would demonstrate this process in a great way.
This way, the plants will get all the attention and care they need. And that's a wrap. We hope you liked our presentation, but what will you do?